I got to figure it out, though. I got to figure it out.
Oh.
Shirtless selfies.
What's up, lifers, and welcome to the Daily Standup with Lifetime Value, where we're giving you fresh new customer success ideas every single day. I got my man JP here. JP, do you want to say hi?
What's up? What's up?
And we've got Rob here. Rob, do you want to say hi?
Cheers, you drunkards.
And I am your host. My name is Dylan Young. Disappointed dad energy, Dylan Young. It's just the three of us today. And JP, you told us you've got something saucy to share. So why don't you go ahead? Tell us what that is.
Yeah. So, I was thinking, I've been on this platform called LinkedIn. I don't know if y'all ever heard of this thing, but it's been interesting to sort of see this platform evolve and think about some years ago when the way that I was using it then as opposed to the way that I'm using it now, sort of based on how my needs have changed, but also interestingly, how the landscape of social media in general has really changed, right? Like in that short time, we had Twitter fall and become X, which is now still this weird thing that's going on. And you've had rather something like Mastodon that's come out, which is more like a private thing, but I don't know how much traction there really is there, right? And the ways that people are using this platform in terms of whether that's the type of content they're creating or different things, I think that me personally, my take is that it's gotten a bit spammy, okay? It's gotten a bit spammy, but there is still good content on there, and I think that it would be good to maybe discuss about the things that we do see that are working, and maybe even call out some of the people, dangerous as that may be, that we actually do enjoy following on LinkedIn.
JP, break down spammy for me. Define it a little bit more. Because when I think of spam, I think of email spam. Like, you're just getting a bunch of like junk and fraudster stuff. But I think you're going at it from a different angle. So do you want to break that down a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. Spammy in terms of when people are trying to, say, manipulate the algorithm. And instead of maybe having things be more content, not that we should ignore the data around leveraging the algorithm, but I think it's when things sort of jump the shark in a way where we're just going to put, selfies do well. I'm just going to take a selfie every post. And I'm just going to put a selfie of myself every post for this because it seems like I'm getting more engagement that way instead of maybe thinking, and again, I'm just not a big selfie person, but maybe somebody's, maybe not every post, maybe let's have some variety like in the content. Or in the example of, and sometimes it's all of the above, but people who may be, they're selling, maybe they're consultants like a Rob, right? But the thing about Rob is that Rob has, a cornucopia of content, if you will. Right? He's not out here spamming, right? There are different things he's involved in. So he can plug his services, async, ad hoc, however you want to say it, without being spammy. But for some folks, they find something, they feel like they get that. I can't help but make a parallel to the dopamine hit of finding something that works, and now you're just going to keep doing it because this is getting a lot of likes versus, I think, more of a critical element behind things, which is what am I putting out there for people? So
what I think is interesting is why folks are posting is because they want engagement, they want attention, they've got a reason for that. Whether it's a super simple kind of like two-step reason, like I post, you buy my stuff, or it's a little bit more convoluted but ends up in the same place. Like I want to build presence, I want to build brand, so that I become trustworthy and I can at some point in the future sell something or I get a better job or blah, blah, blah. I want to push back just a little bit on what you're saying of like, they're going to do what they're rewarded for. It's the same. It's like, like training your dog. If you give your dog a treat every time they come inside, they learn to come inside the first time you ask them because they want that treat. right? And like, so it becomes a bit of a, self-fulfilling prophecy in that regard. So I don't know that we're going to get away from it, but I will agree with you in that we get stuck on the hamster wheel of the dopamine hit, like you were talking about. What is less easily quantifiable is the impression folks have of you. So if all you do is post selfies, and it's present in the way you're describing this, is exactly what can't be measured on something like LinkedIn. It can't be measured in impressions and retention and, these other things that these social media platforms tell you, or any platform, is what's happening to your brand, to your reputation, if all you do is post selfies or you post emotionally driven stuff about how your kids are growing up, and there's no business lesson, there's no professional lesson, which doesn't always have to be the case, but I just feel like then you're branding yourself as, oh, I don't have anything material to say, I just want likes. And so I'm going to repeat myself one last time. I think folks can end up chasing the wrong thing and not realizing some of the intangibles that they are perpetuating, or a lack thereof. Rob, go ahead.
I got it figured out, though. I got it figured out.
Oh.
Shirtless selfies.
Yeah.
We just need to level up the selfie game. That's it. No, I'm on the same page. There's a lot of it that's sincere and serious and real. But part of me is just, I feel like I'm going to this party where everybody's in a costume. And I'm like, can I be the guy who doesn't wear a costume, please? Honestly, it's annoying because it kind of kills the party for everybody, right? Like, I want LinkedIn to be a place where people can like meaningfully, especially at a time like now where people are like, they have really serious needs, like getting jobs and stuff. I posted a job opening last week for a friend's company, and I'm still not able to get back to everybody because their messages are getting clouded in all the spam. And that's annoying.
Oh, wow.
Right? I wish I could just filter all that out and just get back to the people who actually need jobs. Right? It's not to say these other people don't need business. They do, but this is not the way that I want to be approached or the place.
That's actual spam. So that's spam. Like actual spam. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I went down the actual spam rabbit hole. There is actual spam too.
Yeah. And I mean, I know that's just par for the course for any sort of social media. As you're going to deal with bots, you're going to deal with spam. I'll also just call out that I think for me, things are different going from when I had only so many connections, maybe like 500 or 600
Mr.
connections.
Popular.
And then now all of a sudden I have like over 3,000 as of this time. And
3,
there's just a lot more exposure, right? And I think like how much of it seems spammy by virtue of exposure.
Yeah.
Like it maybe wouldn't seem as spammy if I didn't have as much exposure to people on LinkedIn.
It's interesting too. I mean, I'll go back to this. The way I use LinkedIn and social media is different from you guys in, trying to run and promote lifetime value media.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Smash that like button.
Smash it, baby.
Please.
Smash it.
But again, look, so that's another thing that's super valuable. Like if you want to go out and you want to sell a sponsorship, they want to know how many impressions you get, how many engagements you get. Now, I think it's a little bit different when you're speaking about a company that is built to sell sponsorships than this very convoluted, what often feels like a popularity contest, or it feels like a cosplay, like you were saying, Rob, of like, I don't really know what you're getting at when you post a picture of your son's big boy bed. I don't know.
It's a race car bed, okay? And I'm really proud to be sleeping in my own bed.
It sounds acerbic, but the words are still true. In that, ChatGPT, I had to fire that one up real quick and found that funny. No, the words are still true of, I truly do not understand why you're doing that. I don't know what that does for you.
Yeah.
Is that in some way providing you dollars down the road or happiness? I'm unclear on the
I can
purpose.
disagree with us for a second. But JP, you were going to say something.
So I'll just say quickly that I do know, because I did used to work someplace where we did brand management, right, for executives. And I do know that I said cornucopia for a reason. It's because variety in general is going to be good. Even if you're saying similar things, you do want some variety. But the other part of this is, ironically, if you don't want to be too spammy or one-dimensional, right, you want to get three-dimensional, then having some vulnerability posts is good. But then that also becomes, when you're sitting there and you look at a calendar about different awareness days, and you're like, okay, I'm going to capitalize on this one, I'm going to capitalize on that one.
Vanilla pudding day?
Oh, yeah.
You talking shit?
On
our strategy?
That was good. Where, people like, it's like when the life imitating art or art imitating, it's like when you start going to, wow, I had this vulnerable event happen. This would be good for managing my brand to post it. But also,
it comes back to that of the brand. Like, we may just not resonate with some of these messages.
Right. Exactly.
And if you go back to their engagement and stuff like that, if other people are, then like they're going to keep doing it. We just may not like it.
That's a great call out. We just may not.
No.
It's such a fine line, right, between something that is authentically you and something that appears like spam. Because arguably your relationship with your child is very authentically you. And maybe it's amazing that you could make the counter argument that it's amazing that, like,
I just don't know why that would make me want to buy your services, Rob.
Well, so maybe that's the point, right? Maybe we're too far in the trap to see that there could be that maybe for some people this is their social network. This is Facebook to them. This is Instagram to them. This is that's the counter argument. Boys. I'd like the division, but what can I say?
Yep.
I love it. If anybody wants to buy shirtless selfies of Rob, hit up his DMs. Slide on in there. That's our time, boys.
Baloney.com.
Baloney.com. Is it Loney or Logna?
It's Lonely because he's lonely. He's a lonely.
Baloney.com. Yo, our GoDaddy expert Rob, get on that. If you have comments, send them to Rob at baloney.com. And we'll see you next time, folks. Love you. Bye-bye.
Don't leave me.
You've been listening to the Daily Standup by Lifetime Value. Please note that the views expressed in these conversations are attributed only to those individuals on this recording and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of their respective employers. For all inquiries, please reach out via email to dylan@lifetimevaluemedia.com. Find us on YouTube at Lifetime Value and find us on the socials at Lifetime Value Media. Until next time.
Hey folks, it's Dylan here. Thank you for tuning in as always. Now I've got a favor to ask of you. If you've made it this far, hopefully it means you like what we're doing with our program. So I'm asking you to please give this a like and a follow or a subscribe and leave a comment too. Your likes and your follows and your subscriptions, they allow us to keep doing what we're doing and reach a larger audience. Your comments help us make sure that we're making the best content for you. Best of all, it's free besides a few moments of your time. Thank you again for following along and we'll see you next time.